So please like and subscribe. I grew up in a small seaside town with my single dad, who was a marine biologist. I'd spend hours snorkeling with him, and I was completely in love with the ocean. Our life was perfect, but everything changed when I was 10. Dad told me he'd been selected for a team of research scientists headed to the Galapagos Islands.
It's a chance of a lifetime, Faye.
I'm so excited, Daddy! How soon can we go?
Sweetheart, I can't take you with me. You'll be staying with a dear friend of mine, and you'll love it there. A year will be gone in no time.
A whole year? And that's how I ended up in San Francisco with my dad's friend, Mrs. Smith, who lived in a huge mansion. I'd never been apart from Dad, and I tried not to cry as he hugged me goodbye. But Mrs. Smith seemed sweet, and she took me up to a lovely room. As she helped me unpack, I opened the closet and I screamed and fell down when a boy jumped out at me.
Elon, I told you to be nice to our guest. You scared the poor girl.
I'm not scared of him. Yeah, you are, scaredy cat. And he pulled my hair and ran off. It turned out he was Mrs. Smith's nephew, Elon, and he also lived here. He was a year older than me and a complete brat. Aunt, I want a helicopter for my birthday. I'm tired of getting stuck in traffic. And he actually got a frickin' helicopter. But when Elon saw it, he went inside and spat on the pilot's face. I wanted a black helicopter, idiot. Elon refused to eat until the helicopter was painted black. Most days, Elon was a pain in the butt for everyone, including me. He'd put spiders in my bag, scribble in my notebooks, and bang his head on the wall until I agreed to play with him. He also asked me to do his homework, and when I refused, he begged and cried and said he was too dumb to do it. I was so puzzled by his behavior sometimes. But Mrs. Smith told me that he had a condition called ADHD, which made him hyperactive and distracted. And I guess I've spoiled him too. It's so hard for me to say no. But I think you'll be a great influence on him. I wasn't so sure, but I'd put up with him. It was only until Dad came back, except Dad didn't come back. His phone calls stopped coming too. Mrs. Smith told me not to worry, but I couldn't help it. I slipped out onto the porch that night and sat on the stairs, crying. Just then, Elon came and sat next to me. What's wrong, Faye? I want my dad to come back.
Why? Don't you like living here?
No, you tease me and you're only friends with me because I do your homework.
Yeah, but also because you're the only other person I like, other than Aunt.
Liar, you have tons of friends.
But you're my favorite person, Faye.
He slipped his arm around me and I felt better. And then he slipped a sticky lollipop down my shirt and I yelled as I chased him. We got the dreadful news. Dad and his team had gone missing, but Mrs. Smith and Elon never let me lose hope that he'd be found, and I was so glad I had them. At school, I always topped my class, and in 8th grade, I started babysitting in the evenings. Mrs. Smith gave me an allowance, but I wanted to be more independent. And my 8th grade results were so good that I was promoted straight to grade 10. That meant Elon and I were in the same class now. Once, I was studying in the library when some girls approached me. They were the mean squad of our class, and their leader, Sophia, was Elon's girlfriend. Elon tells me you're really smart, so here's our assignments. Get them done tonight. We'll pay you. Sorry, I'm busy. Oh, come on. Think of it as a great job. It's better than cleaning a baby's poopy butt. Ew. And they all burst out laughing. Just then, Elon walked in.
Hey, Faye, want to hang out with us tonight?
Sorry, Elon, I can't, 'cause I'll be busy cleaning a baby's poopy butt. I stormed off, but Elon followed me.
Hey, what was that about?
Why did you tell everyone about my job? Your girlfriend and her minions were making fun of me.
That's because they can never be like you. Faye, you're skipping grades and working. How many kids can do that? You're incredible.
Elon smiled warmly at me, but why was my tummy doing flips? Ahem. Am I interrupting something?
Not at all, babe. I was just telling Faye how incredible you are.
A few weeks later, I got paired with Sophia in chemistry class, while Elon's partner was a shy girl with braces. During an experiment, she accidentally spilled a chemical on Elon's arm that made his skin itch.
Whoa, girl, your glasses aren't working?
I'm so sorry. Here, let me. But just as she was about to clean Elon's arm, Sophia pushed her away. Don't touch my boyfriend with your filthy hands. just as she was about to sit, Sophia pulled her chair and the poor girl landed on her butt. Everyone started laughing as she ran out in tears. I shook my head in disappointment at Elon, then followed the girl to check if she was hurt. Thankfully, she wasn't. That day, when we were going back home, Elon asked me,
Was that girl okay?
I guess. You must feel really proud of yourself after the way you and Sophia treated her.
Come on, Faye, don't be such a snowflake. It's just how things are in school. The nerdy ones always get bullied.
Says who? Elon, you're so much better than your friends. That's why you care if she was okay or not.
Maybe I'm not, Faye. You just see the good in me because you're good.
Years went by, and on his 18th birthday, Elon had planned a party for his friends at a fancy restaurant. I made a photo frame for him and put in a goofy picture of us as kids. Elon was out all day, and when he finally came back in the evening, I was all ready for the party. Happy birthday, Elon!
Thanks. You look great. Going somewhere?
Yeah, to the party with you, silly.
Oh, yeah, you should totally come.
Gosh, that was so embarrassing. I didn't even realize till now that he'd never actually invited me to his party. It was too late to back out, and when I reached the restaurant with him, I could see Sophia glaring at me. She wrapped herself around Elon like an anaconda. Babe, look what I got you. Elon opened her present, and it was the latest PlayStation. I see Faye also got you a gift. Let's see it. But as soon as he opened it, Sophia burst out laughing. You call this tacky thing a gift? Where'd you get it from? The dollar store? I made it myself. That's even worse. Gosh, Elon, what are you gonna do with it?
I'll find a place for it. Thanks, Faye.
Later that evening, a handsome guy from our class asked me to dance, but out of nowhere, he suddenly tried kissing me. I pushed him hard and he landed right on Elon's cake. What is wrong with you, Faye? Why are you trying to ruin the party? I'm not. He was kissing me even though I said no.
Why would I kiss you? You're not even my type.
Elon, I'm not lying. This moron tried to—
Enough, Faye. That's my friend you're talking about.
And who am I, Elon? You're just a nobody living on his aunt's charity. I looked at Elon, who just stared back at me.
That's why I didn't invite you. I knew you just wouldn't fit in.
Wow, you're such a jerk. I ran out of the restaurant with angry tears. Suddenly, someone grabbed my arm.
Faye, why do you always have to be so proper? Why can't you be like the rest of us?
Are you trying to make me feel bad for the way I am? I am so disappointed in you.
Of course you are. Who could live up to your high standards? You're just too perfect, a saint. But guess what? No one wants to be with saints because they're freaking boring.
You're pathetic, Elon. You keep finding excuses to be the worst version of yourself. Elon and I stopped talking to each other, and since I was headed off to university anyway, I left even sooner. I always kept in touch with Mrs. Smith, though, and graduated university with honors. Soon, I started working as a research scientist in my hometown. A year later, I got the most unexpected call from Mrs. Smith's lawyer. He told me she'd married a rich man and moved to London. Elon inherited her property, but she left me $10 million for my research. I had to go to San Francisco to complete the formalities, but I was dreading facing Elon again. To my relief, he wasn't at the mansion when I got there. On my first night, I couldn't sleep, so I went down to the kitchen. But as I looked for the light switch, I bumped into someone and screamed.
Whoa, it's just me.
I found myself staring into Elon's face.
It's good to see you, Faye.
Yeah, ditto. I guess you know why I'm here. I can't believe your aunt did that.
Really? You can't? You must have expected it. You two were always so close.
I didn't like the way that he said that, so I turned to leave, but he stopped me.
Faye, I'm sorry. That came out wrong. Aunt always said she's really proud of you.
I mumbled something and rushed back to my room because my heart was beating like crazy. He was more handsome than ever. I met the lawyer the next day for some paperwork, but I didn't see Elon around at all. Later that night, I was about to fall asleep when I heard a baby crying. I followed the cries straight to Elon's room. Elon, whose baby is this? What's she doing here?
Gosh, Faye, can you please come and help me first?
Just then, Elon pulled off the baby's diaper and he gagged and threw up in the dustbin. I burst out laughing, but seeing Elon's miserable face, I went in and helped clean up the baby. I sang her a lullaby and she dozed off. Now will you tell me whose baby this is?
She's my daughter, Angel.
Your what?
Sophia and I were together all through college.
And where is she now?
At her parents' place, probably. Faye, I know this is a lot to ask, but Angel's nanny fell ill and she seems to like you. Can you stay and help me for a few days?
Sure. You know I'm already a pro at wiping babies' poopy butts. The next few days, I helped Elon with Angel and we grew closer again. I noticed how gentle he was with her and often caught him stealing glances at me. Every time our eyes met, I felt something strange in my stomach. One day, I was in the garden when Elon came running, his face red with excitement.
I have to tell you something, but I don't really know how to, but I really have to.
Hey, calm down. What's going on?
Faye, we found your dad.
What? What do you mean?
I've had private search teams looking for years. They finally found your dad and his team on some remote island. He's coming back home, Faye.
I started to cry as Elon wrapped his arms around me. This means everything to me, Elon. How will I ever thank you?
You can start by forgiving me. Faye, I'm so sorry for the way
But suddenly, he let me go as he looked behind me, and I turned to see Sophia. She came running and threw her arms around him. Babe, I've missed you. Oh, hi, Faye. It's been so long. Elon told me you've been taking excellent care of our baby. Thank you. Elon has been in touch with her all this time, giving updates? And that night at dinner, Sophia couldn't stop gushing over Angel. Faye, isn't she perfect? Babe, let's take her to Disneyland this summer, just the three of us. Wouldn't that be perfect? And then Sophia pulled him in for a kiss. Gosh, it was so awkward. But she was Angel's mom, and Angel deserved a complete family. And I had to leave soon. Later that night, I was getting into bed when Sophia walked into my room. Faye, you're really embarrassing yourself. What do you mean? I can see how you look at Elon. You've always been in love with him, haven't you? Oh, poor thing. But trust me, he doesn't feel the same way. He loves me and will always take me back, especially since I'm Angel's mother. So I think you should leave now. We don't need a babysitter anymore. I left the mansion quietly that night. I didn't even wait for the money for Mrs. Smith. I didn't care about anything, except that Dad was coming home. And it was the most bittersweet reunion. My heart was bursting with happiness to see Dad again, and we had years of catching up to do. I would always be grateful to Elon for this. One day, I was busy going through some pictures for work when I heard a familiar voice.
Can you please stop leaving without saying goodbye?
Elon, what are you doing here? And I figured you didn't need me since Angel's mom was back.
Sophia isn't fit to be anyone's mom. Aunt hated her, and when she found out Aunt left, Sophia thought she could convince me to marry her. Faye, she's been threatening to fight for Angel's custody. So I waited for her to make some mistake, and once I gathered proof against her, I kicked her out.
Proof?
She stole a lot of stuff from the mansion.
So that means you don't love her?
No, I love you, Faye. I think I've loved you since we were kids. I just always felt you were too good for me. I still think that. But I can't fight my feelings for you anymore.
I love you too, Elon.